And we are live on live. Good evening, everyone. Good evening from your respective of your region. From my own region, Nigeria, I'm greeting you. Good evening and happy Sunday to each and every one of you. I see each and every one of you from the YouTube channel down to the live me. Like it's crazy. So happy Sunday. We are yet another edition again, another new conversation we're having on our podcast show. Still remain Daniela podcast show. So but before we start, we usually like our normal routine, putting everything today. We're gonna be talking into God's hands. As I say 1 minute of our prayers and we're just going to share the life and giving God the glory and acknowledging God to be a soul winner of our life and everything we're going to do because we need to add in here first and every other will be added unto us. So, Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We glorify your holy name. We commit today's show into your hands and we pray that it goes well, not just going well, but in all, let your name be highly exalted. In all, let all glory be unto your holy name. I will pray that whatever we're talking today is going to sit well and have a great impact in people's life, and they shall see the wrong things they have been doing and impact something positive in someone's life. I will ask this through personal level. So, so we're going to go through to today. Today we're having a very intense conversation, a conversation most people will not really want to hear, a conversation for both male and female genders. So we're going to be talking about self-love in ruining relationship. And most people will not expect it. They'll be like, self-love is ruining relationship. Because most people will be like, self-love thing, you need to love yourself first. Say, sincerely, part of that thing is actually ruining some relationship. And so I was just going to talk about self love is everywhere. Self love, people say self love to protect their peace, choose themselves, and walk away. But here is the uncomfortable questions nobody wants to ask. What is self love as we practice it today? What is self love as we're practicing it today? Because self love is slowly killing our ability to stay, build, and grow with one another, even human beings. Like, because relationship don't survive on self-focus alone. Relationship don't really survive on self-focus alone. They survive on self-focus. They survived on responsibilities, compromise, emotional maturity, communications, and commitment. So today, let's talk about when self love stop being healthy and start being selfish. Because most people be like, self love. See, most of it is selfish. Most of them are really selfish at one point. So we're going to be talking about when self love stop being healthy and when it start being selfish. So I encourage everyone to share the live just to start point. Share the live to your friends. Hey, welcome to this live YouTube channel. We're live on YouTube, and our YouTube channel for those live me app that are not following us on YouTube, it still remain D underscore blondes reality. And on live me for those on YouTube, they'll be like, okay, let me come try live me out. My live me ID is 1023 7596 5. So I still welcome each and every one of you to today. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the button subscribe and subscribe. You could also be one of my top fans on YouTube channel. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and let's get started. So now we're going to be talking about 5 strategic pillars governing this self-love. We're going to be talking about 5 strategic pillars governing this self-love, and we're going to be starting about the first one, which is when self-love quietly turns into selfishness. Most times a lot of us don't really know that when you're being self-love, you are actually trying to protect yourself, yes, but you're running away from the truth too. And the self-love, you don't even know if you're hurting the person beside you. Do you understand me? So Self-love started. Hello, Mrs. Semi Liga. Self-love started as heading, but it is drifting into entitlement. So you understand that most times we talk about self-love. So now we're going to be talking about when self-love quietly turns into selfishness. And the second one is I come first versus I consider myself and you. That is self love. That is when self love is quietly turning into selfishness. When you start choosing yourself that I come first before anything. And happy Sunday, Mrs. Selma Liga. Shout out to you from Live Me. And to those on the YouTube channel, I see you all. I love you all. Keep your comments coming. And shout out to you. When we talk about self love, when it quietly turns into selfishness, like when we start saying something like, hey, I put myself first, I come first, considering yourself first instead of considering both yourself and your partner in your relationship. So most of these things we feel it that is normal, is usual, but seriously, it is gradually coming to selfishness when you're talking when we start using statements like that. So the third one is relationship collapse when empathy is optional. Let me say like now, whatever your partners do or anything, instead of you to communicate it out, you start my peace of mind is first. I choose myself. I would rather want to do anything he wants to do. And you're drifting away, you're running away from some crucial conversations, crucial things you guys are meant to do together. You guys are meant to see through together. You guys are meant to stay true together and walk through those thick and turns together. So it is most common in both male and female now, in what is trending. Everyone, you see people on social media saying, oh, you need to choose yourself first, you need to treat yourself first, you need to love yourself first. Yes, it is okay, but you can't carry such ideas and enter into a relationship or your marriage, because when you're choosing yourself, you need to be choosing your family too. You need to be choosing your husband as well. You need to be choosing your children as well. You see some ladies of like, my husband can do whatever they want to do. I have to love myself first. But this self love is gradually turning into selfishness, and that is the unhealthy part of self love. So we're talking about five strategic unhealthy pillars of self love, where it turns to be unhealthy, and we'll talk about the first one. And the key point to what I'm talking about is love dies when self protection matters more than mutual care. You want to talk about self protection, you're protecting yourself first rather than mutual care, rather than carrying everyone together, rather than carrying your partner, loving your partners and everything. You just choose yourself first before you, yes, it's okay, but not in a selfish way. Understand? So we're going to be going to the point two of what we're going to be talking about today, and it says boundaries have replaced commitment. I don't know if you guys tune with what I'm going to be saying today. Okay, it's okay. So do you accept what I said? Like boundaries have replaced commitment, and in these boundaries have replaced commitment. I guess I have a question for that. Yes, and boundaries have replaced commitment, right? True. And the question for this one is: do people misuse boundaries to avoid responsibilities? You buy with this that people misuse boundaries to avoid responsibilities. I think like maybe some of these people you actually doing that unconsciously, or are they doing that purposely, or they're doing that unconsciously? But yes, absolutely. Tribe said yes. Boundaries. Yes, Tribe said boundaries have replaced commitment, and Mrs. Sema is saying absolutely that people are misusing boundaries to avoid responsibility. And here on the YouTube channel, somebody said yes, people are doing both. They are doing both at the same time. Okay, let's get it started. So, but we're going to be giving on the live me channel. I don't know how to bring somebody up on YouTube channel, so you guys should just bear with me. I don't know how to bring anyone up to say what they want to say. But on the live me, we'll be giving 1 minute for somebody to click on the beam and just share your own idea of what you mean by Yes, people are misusing boundaries to avoid responsibilities and how they go about with it. So I don't know who's going to click on. Hello, Jennifer. You're welcome again. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. So let's see. So, what is your take in people misusing boundaries to avoid responsibilities? And please, who's going to request beam up? Mrs. Semi, try. Do you want to say something? Can I give you 1 minute for you to come up and say something? Each other, what you really understand by. Can I give you 5 minutes? Let me see again. Who will I beam up? Tribe, do you want to beam up? Tribe, could you beam up to tell me your own opinion concerning this? Just 1 minute. Just say something and then you could go back. The snow is my boundary. I'm not going outside for any responsibilities. Okay, let me give you guys my own opinion concerning this. Boundaries were meant to project dignities, not dodge accountabilities. We all know that, right? Boundaries were meant to project dignities and not dodge accountability. When this is my boundary, replaces conversation. When boundaries are misused, is when it replaces conversation and when it compromises. So, and then when boundaries are being avoided, people use it to avoid responsibilities. It'd be like when people use it instead of it to dress and grow, and then you just skip the part and be like, I don't need all this kind of conversation. I don't need all these things. You just skip it, and then you dodge being accountable of the particular thing you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to treat, and you're supposed to talk about. So hello, hello, Sarah. Thank you for the hi. Please keep click on the subscribe button. And thank you so much. So, healthy boundaries team grows a lot and allows team allows engagement. But most people really try to misuse it. Like they misuse it. I said like, okay, I'm setting boundaries with my friend. I want to set boundaries. I want to set boundaries with my spouse. And I'd be like, okay, you're gonna do this side, you're gonna do these things, you're gonna do this one on your own, you're gonna do this. Is it actually right for me to start setting boundaries with my spouse? I feel people are meant to channel boundaries in the right way, not the wrong way. Where there need to be boundaries as meant like when you need to have like an extra body aside from your relationship, like a third party is meant to have boundaries. Boundaries are not supposed to be like set in between two spouse, because when you start setting boundaries between two spouse, you two are really avoiding some responsibilities which you are supposed to take or control. And when you start avoiding this responsibility, this selfishness of self-love becomes in. And then that's when you start seeing somebody quitting a relationship that is meant to be fixed because of they choose themselves. They feel like they value peace. We're going to be going down to see if actually what people are always saying that I like peace, I like peace, I like peace, is it actually they want peace or they just want to be themselves or they don't even want confrontation at all. Most people will be like, I choose myself, I love peace, peace over every other thing. Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Emma. Thank you for the share. Thank you for the star point. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate you for that. So, we're still talking about boundaries have replaced commitment. So, boundaries are necessary, but they are not. They are now used to avoid putting effort in relationship and friendship. Really, yes, boundaries are very necessary, but most times are used to avoid putting effort in relationship and friendship. So people cut off easily instead of working together to pull through the rough roads. That's when people just they also say the boundaries, it gets to you like your head is just not staying tuned for you to just go off. Everything in you is just saying we need to end it. It's not working, it's not working, it's not working. It's not working because you're not putting effort in it. And it's except it gets to this abusive part of it, abusive part of your relationship, abusive part of your marriages where there's physical combat. That is when you say, oh, it's not working and you're leaving the relationship. But yes, it's cool for you to leave at that point because life and death is no match together. So you understand. So discomfort is treated like danger. Whenever you just experience this discomfort, immediately, instantly, your head is signaling this person is not meant to be for me. This person is too chaotic. This person brings so much chaos. This person is this person is that. But rather than you looking at what is actually bringing this discomfort between me and this my partner, is it something we can fix quietly? Is it something we can put more effort in ourselves? Or is it something we can just do together or let it wave? Or is it something one person has to do the working and then the other person has to watch the result of the effort which the other person puts? You understand? So most times in terms of these boundaries have replaced commitment, you see people discomfort is really treated like danger. That's their channel of walking away from a relationship. So, and the fourth one is boundaries has gone deeper than expected, drifting to silence from days and then distance forever. When you're setting boundaries, I've seen two couples when they're having a misunderstanding and they set boundaries, they set a barrier, they set a let me say a line space between themselves on the bed. You're not meant to cross my boundary, you're not meant to touch my things, you're not meant to do this. Along the line, when one of them was so ill at the middle of the night trying to reach out to the partner that this is what is going on around me, but the partner was still so adamant, like, no, we're still going to stick to what we say, nobody's going to change the rules, no one is changing the rules. And eventually when this woman wakes up the next morning, found out that themselves, and it is still spelling on these boundaries. This is spelling down on this self-love care, thinking about yourself alone, not thinking about your partner, not thinking about your family, not thinking about your relationship. Is this your decisions healthy for your relationship? Is this such decision you're going to be taking healthy for yourself and your spouse? Because when you enter into a relationship, you are entering a committed thing, something you two need to work to fix. You two need to work together to be perfect together. You two need to work together, leaving aside most of your excessive demand, excessive let's say your excessive choices. Then you over choose some certain things which you're meant to leave behind, and then you two are coming together to fix yourself to work together. So these are things that world is talking about now. So boundaries should guide love and not replace it. Boundaries should protect love, not replace it. It's okay for you to have boundaries, but let there be a limitation to this your boundaries. Your boundaries is not meant to be channeled in the wrong side. It is meant to be channeled in a positive side where it will yield more flora, like more active togetherness, where it will still yield and it will still blossom more. Understand? So not channeling, most men and women we channel our boundaries to towards something else, towards the unhealthy part. And to us, we think we're doing it healthy. We think we're doing it the right way. We think we're trying to make our spouse learn the hard way. But in the sense of you trying your spouse to learn the hard way, you may end up losing that spouse. And you may end up losing the right people, the ones that love you, cherish you, could be there for you through thick and thin, because of your selfishness of self-love and boundaries, trying to prove that you're a man, trying to make a point that you're a woman, you need to be heard, then you end up breaking every beautiful things you two have built from the beginning. So we're going to be talking about the point three. So shout out to our YouTube people on YouTube. Please click on the subscribe button to subscribe. And we're also live on Live Me app, Live Me streaming app, which you could get me on Live Me streaming app with 10237595. And those on Live Me, you want to join me on YouTube and click on my subscribe page and subscribe my page. Subscribe to my page so you see more often of some videos and more often of some messages I pass across. My YouTube channel name is D underscore. D, irrespective of it's capital letter or small letter, you're still going to see me. D underscore blunt is spelled BLUNT, and reality is spelled REALLITY. That is it. So, with an invisible clock, I don't know how to do that once. So, we're going to the point three of conversation, which we're talking about the strategic unhealthy side people actually walk through when they don't know those things are unhealthy, and it's causing um chaotic, like it's causing these breakups in relationship and marriage. And we're still on self-love. Self-love ruining relationship when we don't actually know. So the point three is peace is a new escape route. Hmm. I know people used to say, my peace, my peace, my peace. So we're going to be asking this question today. Is peace more important than growth in love? Let's just be realistic. Is peace more important than growth in love? So what's your take on it? Do you consider peace to be more important than growth in love? Because most men and women will come out and say, I value my peace. I value my peace. I can't compromise my peace. Yes, it's okay. Nobody's saying for you to compromise your peace. But do you think that peace is more important than you allowing yourself to grow? For you allowing yourself to learn, for you allowing yourself to be accountable of your mistakes, not justifying them as a man or woman. So, and the short term of peace feels good, long term is dangerous. The short term choosing peace is okay, but when you choose it in the long term, it is really dangerous. I see you, Chris 47503 on Live Me. Welcome to the podcast show on Live Me. So it says that growth is uncomfortable, but it builds capacity. Peace without growth leads to emotional stagnation. I don't know if people really see what I'm talking about. Because when you're choosing peace and you're not growing, you're emotionally stagnant. Because there's no improvement in you, but you're here choosing peace. You can't fix yourself, you can't grow, you can't learn from your mistake. But when somebody is trying to correct you, you see the person as chaotic, you see the person as being controlling, you see the person as being over dramatic, and then you're choosing peace and you're not growing. You're choosing peace and you're not growing, you're not fixing yourself. My dear, my dear, honest truth, you're emotionally stagnant because that thing you're running away, we keep coming to you every now and then. You will keep seeing that thing in different relationship you enter. That is what is happening to most men and women. You see them in a long time, no relationship. Most people, I know, I understand that most people will be like, okay, they're not ready for relationship. Yes, I know some people like that. But most people, you hear some men and women say, no, I value my peace. I can't go into another drama again or anything. But have you checked yourself? The drama is actually coming from your own end? Is it faulty from your own end? Or is there something else you're missing? You're not doing right? And have you been able to withstand yourself and grow from the previous one you came out from? Real love prioritizes regulated conflict, not silence. In real love, you can never escape misunderstanding. You can't. You can't escape misunderstanding in relationship. You cannot. But when you have real love, it prioritizes and it regulates conflict. It do not end to this silence. It regulates communication. So when we're talking about choosing peace more than our growth, we should actually look at the angle of what we actually want. Go straight to what we want. No come and don't come and wave it off and clove it and be like, this is what you want, this is what it is, this is what is happening, and then you say. So we're going to be going back to peace is a new escape route for most people. Most people run away from relationship that they're meant to talk about because of they choose peace. Most people run away from things themselves and their spouse or their fiancé or their girlfriend or boyfriend. They're meant to walk through. They're meant to put effort to work together to achieve something. And they feel because of peace, because of they choose peace and then they just walk out of it. And along the line, after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you will see them trying to come back to start communicating with the person they chose peace and abandoned. You see them coming back to start having this communication, and you see them having this conversation. And then when you're not having this old time conversation, then you start realizing that, oh, I actually made mistake. I was not supposed to walk away. I was supposed to stay and fix some things. I was supposed to say this thing this way. I was not supposed to say things this way. That things like that. So most people say, I just want peace. Most times it often means I don't want confrontation. I don't want to be questioned. I don't want my decision to be questioned. I don't want my actions to be questioned. Conflict is normal. Chaos is never normal. But we treat them the same when we are choosing peace. There's difference between conflict. When two people are having conflict, they are exchanging words, yes. But when it's chaotic, is when there is an abusive abuse, like a combat going on. That is when there's chaos. So, but that is not normal. But why is it that we human being we treat the both as same, and then we end up saying, "I want my peace. I value my peace." I see something on Instagram or and every other channel. I'll be like, a real girlfriend is meant to give you problem, is meant to fight with you, you see, I don't argue with whatever they're saying, but it is true that relationship cannot go in a smooth, wavy way. It will not go smoothly. Just like you see in an ocean without a wave, without these waves on it. It's just as we see in an ocean just flowing, the water just flowing down. You will definitely see waves, you will definitely see stones. Even in streams, you will see stones in streams because that stone is going to restrict the flow of water to the next place. But definitely, when there is a full force together with the water coming together to push themselves together, you see they will overcome that stone. That's when the waves pushed all of them together and then they will overcome that storm. That is how it is. There is definitely going to be storm, there's definitely going to be a mighty wave. But it's going to occur when you two just free yourself and nobody is doing no effort. Definitely that water is never going to pass across. That water is not going to cross that stone. The water is just going to be stuck at the back of that stone, irrespective of the direction you are looking towards the ocean. It's just going to be stuck without no movement to the next place. But when the storm hits and all water comes together like with force, and it's the force of working together, they push themselves and you see them crossing. You'll be seeing the stones, but you'll be seeing the water crossing. And they crossed and they continue flowing. So that's it, simple really. And in the aim of, when people say chaos is not good, but we treat them as the same. In the aim of I don't want drama or I can't trade my peace for anything, rather than working and communicating the issues and not walking away. You walk away from relationship when it's abusive and when your value is being trampled on and your self-worth is nothing to your partner. When you see that your partner doesn't values you anymore. There's some women and men that don't even value each other. They don't even see the effort you're bringing to the relationship at all, the effort you're bringing to the marriage. They devalue you. Your self-worth is being drained in front of you. So those are things that you could walk away from, because when you're being into those kind of situation, it is always very traumatic. It's very, very traumatic. So, and emotional maturity. This is staying present during hard conversation. You see some men and women working out from intensive conversation. A hard conversation, they're meant to sit down, iron out, pour out their heart. Yes, it's going to create an argument between the both of you is going to create a long time misunderstanding. You two point out what you've done wrong to each other from the past. It's going to activate a past injury. Yes. But what makes you strong is when you stay tuned and cross that hard conversation together. Have that intensive hard conversation you two have been avoiding to have. It's either two ways, it's going to lead to two ways. It's going to lead to one, getting ready to fix it, or two, the ones that are going to be selfish about it and create more dramas in that kind of situation when there's some, that's not something. Sometimes I said there are some unnecessity things we get angry towards, and there's some things that are necessary for us to react to. When I had that conversation last week Sunday, a lot of people be like, yes, it's true. Yes, some men will be like, some men will like, oh, it's not really true. Yes, I choose this. Yes, it's okay for you to have your choices. But are you checking your choices? Are they necessary, or are they things that are necessary? Are you reacting to things that are really necessary? Or things that you feel are necessary to your own thoughts, to your own mind, to your own thinking, your own perspective, and you feel is necessary for you to react to it? Because sometimes we women we do that. We allow our emotions get into us, and then we react to something that is unnecessary at that moment. We feel it's necessary, and then when our spouse or our partner or anything we come across, or anyone that is giving us advice, see us and sit us down and talk to us, and we'll be like, okay, I was not meant to react this way. It happens to both women and men. Okay, I reacted to something that wasn't really necessary. So sometimes all these things happen. So we need emotional maturity in some things. And peace that avoid growth will eventually cost you connecting to the real ones and the right ones. When you see yourself that you need peace, and most times if you check these people that always say they need peace, they need peace. I'm not saying, but most of them are really boastful and proud. Most of them are really boastful of themselves. Most of them are the ones carrying themselves around, saying that they are perfect, they have no fault. They have no fault. They are 100% perfect women and perfect men, without knowing that there's some things they have been doing that their partner or their spouse have been enduring without letting it out to their hearing. They go around, I need peace, but they're not growing, they're not investing on themselves, they're not checking themselves. Because there's nobody in this planet Earth that is perfect as our Master Jesus, perfect like God. No, we all have our flaws, we all have our faults, we all have things that another person, another woman being who comes across our life could not endure this, our actions or our characters or our behaviors or the way we treat things, the way we handle things. There'll be one particular thing. Understand? There'll be one particular fault. It's just like you're looking at me now, say like, oh, I'm perfect, I am beautiful, I'm kind, I'm caring. What did I see? There will be some chaotic characters in my head. There will be some chaotic characters I possess that my spouse may not even want. My spouse will look at me and be like, how did I end up with you? And the person will be like, how did I even end up with you? What? Why, why didn't I see this thing and I ended up with you? Jeez, do you understand this kind of funny question? I've seen most married people. They'll come to them, look at themselves, they'll be like, I don't even know why I'm married. So, but most of these things is, please, guys, we're still on self love, running relationship. A shout out to each and every one of you from the YouTube channel. Please share the live to your friends, share the live to your contacts. Let them hit on the subscribe button to keep me going on this YouTube channel. Let's grow. You guys will make me grow on this YouTube channel. And those on live, may share the live, drop some star points. Let's hit the flame up and draw people, audience to the stream, which they want to learn one or two things together. So let's go into the point four of what we're talking about. We are still on the point five, strategic of unhealthy things we do in the sense of self-love. So the fourth one is healing alone is not the same as loving well. Hmm. Do you have a question for that? Yes, I have. Can someone be healed and still be emotionally unavailable? Have you ever seen somebody being healed and they are still emotionally unavailable? Yeah, it's true. Most people are that like that. Most people are like that. You're healed already, but within you emotionally you're not available. You're unavailable. You will see yourself that sincerely, emotionally, you have not even healed emotionally, but you are healed. You're moving your life, you're living your life, you're making your money, adding more money to your account and everything. You're changing your skincare, you're beautiful, more beautiful and everything, but emotionally, are you available emotionally? But the thing there is absolutely healing and availability works together. Healing and availability works together. When you're healing, you're giving self awareness. When you're healing, you're giving self awareness. Availability requires rational skills, listening, vulnerability when you're vulnerable, and staying present. Many healed people are staying guided, like they are staying guided, like many healed people are staying guided, like and emotionally close. They're still guiding themselves and they're still emotionally close. Emotionally close in the sense of not even allowing somebody to your space, not even allowing somebody come close to you, not even entertaining the idea of I love you, not even entertaining the idea of can we be friends, not even entertaining the idea of can we date? Can I take you out for a date? Can I take you out for a drink? Can I take you out for a lunch date or anything? There are most people out there. They are completely healed, but emotionally they are not available to take in another step of commitment. Okay. So we're still on the podcast show and we're going to the main thing we're talking about, which is healing alone and not the same as loving well. Hey, lonely me sister, how are you doing? Well, this lonely me sister. What's up with you? How are you doing? So he said healing teaches awareness, not endurance. I think people are going to buy the idea. Do you buy the idea of healing teaching awareness and not endurance? You don't learn patience without people. You can never learn patience alone. You can never learn patience alone without people being present in your life. People must be present. Even dogs too, they learn patience. You need to learn that patience with your pet. Hey Mickey, what's up, Mickey? Welcome to the podcast. Please drop the star point for me. I hit my flame up. We're on the podcast show. And the third one is relationship revealed unresolved patterns and not create unresolved patterns, like not create small patterns. Relationship reveals unresolved patterns. There'll be sometimes when you have this misunderstanding with your spouse and some unresolved issues between you two that has occurred for like 1 to 3 years of your connection or your togetherness with that person. Then you will see that in surface. Then you will know that oh, actually you've not resolved this particular issue for a long time and it needs to be treated. It is often in women. We could bring up things that has happened in the past that we've said to ourselves, we've waved it off, I've moved on. But if that thing is not resolved, another thing surfaces, eh, and the thing triggered our memory to that particular thing that has occurred years back. You will see us bringing it up and be like, and sometimes you see a woman that will say, actually, you actually acting like my ex right now. And that was an unresolved issues and now it's surfacing in your new relationship because you did not resolve it. You didn't resolve that particular issue, and then you bring it to your new relationship, and then you see the man will be like, surprised, why will you compare me and this kind of person? And you will see some men to actually do the same thing. If a woman does some things this way, you just have it in your head and your mind that this woman is going to be trending the same way your ex still trend. That means you've actually not healed and you actually did not resolve that past of yourself. You didn't resolve it and you allowed it to come in your relationship. And that kind of statements are really, really not good. That statement can actually cause harm and can actually cause some correction to your partner, realizing those that have wisdom. Those spouse that have wisdom, they'll be like, oh, did I actually do something that she has experienced in the past? That is the ones that have true love to you. And they'll be like, that have this true love that can handle their emotions very well. They'll be like, okay, I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to be reminding you of your past traumatic experience, things that hurt you so much, things that cause you pain. But there's some spouse that will tell you, hey, you compare me with somebody else, you're bringing your past to my relationship, you're bringing this to the. No, I can't take this. I choose my peace, and then you see them walking away. To tell you it is over between the two of you. So don't blame those people. Those are just their ability to control. They just have this specific type, in them that the way they can handle their emotions, where they can carry themselves is that way. They cannot do that anything rather than that, except you try to walk them through with it, out of it gradually. Gradually, you're explaining things to them in their own understanding, both men and female in their own understanding. You try to walk them through it gradually. Then you see you two coming out from that kind of situations. So we're going to be point five of our podcast, which is two people choosing me can sustain us. If you have two spouse, like you have spouse, you two, you and your partner, you are both choosing yourself. It can never sustain you two together. That is what I mean. Two people choosing me can never sustain us, can never put together us and making us be this bond, like be this stronghold that can never be inseparable. Understand? So, do I have a question for that? Yes, let's see. And it says, what does healthy self love looks like in a committed relationship? What does healthy self love look like in a committed relationship? Thank you, Lonely Miss Sister, for the star point. Vicky, please drop your star point, your star flame, hit the flame off for me. And while we say continue, those in YouTube channel, I really love each and every one of you. Please click on the subscribe button, click on the like button, click on the share button, and let's grow together. Let's go. This is actually my fourth live or YouTube channel this month, actually. So, and what does healthy self love looks like in committed relationship? Healthy love, respect self without abandoning the relationship. That is one. Set boundaries without shutting the door closed. Set boundaries. These are healthy self-love. Like we're talking about what does healthy self-love looks like in a committed relationship. Respect self without abandoning the relationship. Two, set boundaries without shutting the door closed. Three, choosing growth even when it is uncomfortable, even when it's not comfortable, choosing growth. And the last one is know when to protect self and when to lean in. I like this last part. When I said know when to protect your self love and when to lean in. Leaning in is allowing your partner to love you, allowing your partner to do things right, allowing him in your space. That is lean in, allowing them in your space, allowing them to love you, allowing them to treat you, allowing them to care for you. No restrictants, but know when you want to protect yourself and when to lean in. That is for that one. And let's go to, and it says that two people choosing me can sustain us. We're back to that. So, and the key point of that one, first one is independence without interdependence doesn't work. Independence without interdependence doesn't work. When you are independent on your own, and when there's interdependence, that you're dependent, like you're not depending on someone else. You now you have to depend on somebody. You have to allow somebody come in. But if you are just independence on your own, independence, always, it doesn't work out. You see most of them always crying on their shelter, their bedside, one side of their bed. I wish I had somebody that is going to care for me. I wish I had somebody that will be there for me. I wish I had somebody. But you're the one struggling yourself out in the public. You are independent on your own. You are unshakable. You are this, you're this. It doesn't work because the public are seeing you like that. Even the ones that are trying to come close to you, you're not even giving them that chance. You're not even giving them that chance. And the second key point is love requires sacrifice, not suffering, but surrender. Love requires sacrifice, not suffering, but you have to surrender to it. If you don't surrender to it, you will not experience love in the beautiful angles of it. In all angles of love, how beautiful it is, how lovely it is, how sweet and interesting it is. And it requires sacrifice. Please, there's no, even Jesus Christ sacrificed himself for us, all because he loved humans, all because of his love for man. So, love requires sacrifice, not suffering entirely like that, but you have to surrender to it. So, the third key point is commitment is choosing the relationship even when ego works out. That is, two people choosing me cannot sustain us. Commitment is choosing the relationship, even when your self ego, even when your ego wants to come out. But in you, you know that I'm committed to this man, guy. I'm committed to this woman. I love this woman. I need to. I'm not just choosing me, but I'm choosing us. You're not just choosing yourself. Because if you are choosing yourself alone, you will never be committed to that relationship. You will never be committed to that person. But at the same time, when you start being committed, when you encounter some kind of challenges and difficulties, and you be like, no, I've chose this person is mine, and this person is who I want, you've been committed to that person entirely. Hello, VIP baby, welcome to the podcast show. Share the light, drop some star points, and let's continue. And the last part of it is love starts when self interest learns to shape to share space. When you want to start love starts when self-interest. This your self-interest. You just shift it one side and you start learning to share space together. You start learning to share space with someone. Even at your workplace, you learn to share space at your workplace. Then you realize the loyalty in your colleague. But you're the kind of person you don't learn to share space, you like to do things on your own. Even when you've been having you making mistakes, you don't even want to listen to correction at all. You are so adamant to correction, you know it all. Mr. No right, Mrs. No right. Please reduce it. Learn to share space, learn to grow, learn to be accountable of your mistakes, learn to accept that you are a mistake. You made a mistake at one point. You're not going to die. Even if you are working as a boss, admit your mistakes too as a boss. It's not that you're going to bring yourself so low to your employer, to your employees. I mean to say, not that you're bringing yourself so low to your employees, but you accepted your mistake. Yes, you did this mistake. Yes, your employees are going to learn from you. Be like, boss. Anytime boss make mistake, he's going to say he's sorry about it. My boss is cool. They tend to become loyal to you. But if you have people working for you without passion, they just have it that you are going to pay them. My boss is so harsh. I just need to do this thing. I'm doing it for money. But if you have employees that are passionate about their job, you're going to progress. They will be doing it not because you're paying them well. They're doing it because they love the job. They're doing it because the space of which the environment they are, they loving the atmosphere in that workspace. Most of them do it because they say my boss is so kind and everything. And even me, I was not looking towards getting this type of job. But when I went entered into this particular company, the working environment, the atmosphere, everything, I love it. I became passionate about my job. I became so passionate about it. So your thoughts and your actions can drive one to be passionate. Your thoughts and your actions can drive one to just work for you in a normal space. Like anything I want to happen, let it happen. I don't care if the company is growing or not. But the only thing there is they're paying me. I'm getting paid. After all, they're not paying me much. Most people say so. So we're not talking about self-love just in relationship or winning relationship alone. Self-love is also winning both not relationship alone, winning both careerly, it's also winning marital life, it's also winning friendship. Self-love and unhealthy self-love has caused a lot of damages to women's spheres of life, like even without us realizing it, because of the idea of what people are saying. You need to choose yourself first. Yes, choosing yourself first, but are you choosing yourself first when you're in a relationship? Are you choosing yourself first when you're in marriage? Are you choosing yourself first in a committed friendship or what? You choose yourself first, but yes, there is things you do that you know that yes, you have to choose yourself first. There are things you want to do, you know how you have to consider the idea of us in it. You put a picture of us, not picture of just me alone. So we're still on Daniela's podcast show. I still your host girl on Live Me, Daniela on Live Me, and on YouTube channel we have D_blunt reality. And we're gonna be saying this: healthy self-love doesn't ask how do I protect myself. It asks how do I show up well for me and for us. If you buy to what I say, write in the comment section, because this is not just for me alone. It's apart for everybody, everyone listening, everyone that is going to be watching the YouTube live later on. It's just up for every one of us. Because if we talk about healthy self-love, it doesn't ask how do I protect myself alone. It doesn't. It doesn't need to ask that way. It's also used to ask like how do I show up well for me and for us. Shout out to you, Blaze. You're welcome to the podcast show. And lastly, before we come to an end, it says self love shows should make you more patient. Self love should make you more patient, more accountable, and more capable of commitment, not quicker to live. If your version of self love can't coexist with empathy, patience, and commitment, then it is not wisdom. It is fear of wearing confidence in you. So, we all just talk about, we've actually brushed through self love, running relationship, friendship, marriages, um, um, relationship, friendship, marriages, both even if it is your partners and your colleagues and everything. So we've lastly said, brush the story of how things work through and the questions we talked about and what we asked each other, what we just brushed through together. 5 questions and 5 things as strategic, unhealthy aspect of self-love we actually indulge ourselves in unknowing to us. So we actually talked about each and every one of it. And a shout out to our fans on YouTube channel. Shout out to new subscribers on YouTube channel. Shout out to our friends over here on Live Me, those that followed us on here. Shout out to you, Vicky. Shout out to Sir Just Blaze, shout out to Mrs. Selma Liga, shout out to Tribe, and shout out to most people I couldn't really remember their name. I couldn't pen down their name. So those in the YouTube channel, I see you Jennifer, I see you Sarah, I see you Sunani. I see each and every one of you. I see. I can't mention all your names actually, but I know we're having like 15 people watching actually. So I see each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And we're going to come to the end of the podcast show. And we're going to be coming to the end of the YouTube channel. So see you all again on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Nigerian time. And to those in the Pacific East time, it's going to be 2:30 p.m. Let's say okay. It's going to be 3 p.m. Specific Standard Time. And I love each and every one of you. See you